I told you recently how this particular image really upset, of course, the former royal known as Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex. This was, of course, his elder brother, Prince William, the Prince of Wales, meeting the 47th President-elect Donald J. Trump over in Paris at the reopening of the Notre Dame Cathedral. And when you look at it, there you can see somebody, as I said, very statesmanlike, really taking hold of the situation. Let's be blunt, I've met Donald Trump, and he's one of these very imposing figures, domineering, some people might say, and always owns the room. But I would say that Prince William definitely upscales that. And I don't mean that in a greasy, oily way. You can just see he has a stronger sort of, presence about him. And that really was put through when Donald said he's doing a terrific job. We know he's a huge fan of the British monarchy. Someone who wasn't a huge fan of Donald Trump was none other, though, than Meghan Markle, who spoke about it openly on chat shows like Larry King and, of course, Craig Ferguson. Didn't really like what he stood for. That's her prerogative. But then she married someone who apparently was just, well, is he nice? And what she found out was he might be nice, but clearly not very bright. Let me explain. Good to see you. Thank you so much as ever for your time today. And by the way, did you know in 1849 on this day, a sort of look really that's synonymous now with the look of the United Kingdom, London, whatever, the bowler hat. William and Thomas Bowler unveiled their very first felt bowler hat, which became sort of the look, didn't it? I mean, for a certain era, right through, I think, until the late 1950s, made famous really in movies by the likes of the beautiful Cary Grant and, of course, the comedian raconteur Terry Thomas. I thought he was terrific, He really carried that role off well, didn't he? Yeah, all of those years later, they're still selling. And, of course, many people remember that wonderful picture of the late Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip, on his very final engagement, just tipping the hat. And that was a bowler. Wonderful picture that, wasn't it? Very poignant, I thought, Let's get back to your royal story of the day. As you know, as I say, Prince Harry basically is in a bit of a dilemma with his visa. And that's all for the fact that he wrote so many, well, strange and scandalous things inside his book, Spare. Then, as I said, the recent meeting between his elder brother, Prince William, the Prince of Wales, and the incoming president, well, you might have thought in times gone by, perhaps William may have put in a favourable word. Seemingly not, of course, right now. But here's where it gets really interesting, because according to a very well-placed source, apparently Prince Harry would be up for a one-to-one private meeting with the President-elect Donald Trump. Now, this is very tricky stuff, and as ever, I have to say, allegedly, but this is from an excellent source. Now, one might suspect that Harry is literally running scared from what he said and apparently what he's done. So why would you need a private meeting? Now, the bigger problem that you have with somebody like Donald Trump is he can't really keep things private, and I mean that in the nicest of ways. We saw that he spoke about his meeting with Prince William and how well they got on. Very positive, very, of course, in line, but nonetheless very public. Harry himself can't keep his zip trapped. He's there basically. Harry himself can't keep his zip shut. That's the problem. Rushing off to tell people that the Queen has the right people around her, that sort of stuff. But according to the source, Harry doesn't want any bad feeling over the next few years between the incoming president and himself, as he now wants to reside over in the United States of America. And he feels a private meeting to clear the air would solve all of those problems. Now, as I say, this is from an excellent source. Now, the bottom line is, I'm sure the incoming president has far more pressing matters than a very errant sort of former member of the British monarchy who, as Donald himself says, has done nothing but be very unkind about his family. And we know exactly what Mr. Trump feels about Meghan Markle and how the fact that, according to him, is going to need a lot of help, and good luck with it. Either way, Harry, it seems, some might suggest, is running scared. With all the problems that are now mounting up, particularly over here with the forthcoming court cases, is this one that Harry can simply now pull off? Will, of course, Trump and Harry finally meet? And more importantly, could he iron out the mistakes that he hopes to apparently still remain very private? It's a developing story. As ever, when I know more, you'll know more. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.